So those of you not distracted by my great balloons may have noticed that Jay is on a different microphone today, as am I. We have been wanting to review these for a while, but we've held off because they weren't. There was a supply chain shortage and you couldn't get them. So we thought, well, what is the point really of talking about something that no one can have? So it is now is the time. They are now back in stock. Jay's got one right there. It is the ELGATO Wave. Now we are using the Wave 1. There is a Wave 3 version. It's a little bit more feature packed. These are intended to be used on the road for us. Probably that's where we see them, fitting our what do you say? Our setup, our gear setup.
Our gear setup.
So they're USB microphones. They're actually really good. And what I might do here is drop in a little clip of us. Now, we typically use studio microphones. This is one right here. And they're not bad compared to that. Now I've got the tabletop mount. Jay, is yours on the table as well?
I have it on the tabletop mount, but if you want to show off that little fancy adapter.
Yeah, so they make a couple different accessories. The one is the pop filter here to take care of the plosives. And then they make a microphone adapter. Well, it comes with a microphone adapter, which is right here. And then they make a shock mount adapter. So you can literally put it on this is a shock mount, everybody, if you didn't know that. So if you're gonna record like in a show setting, you probably want to get it off the tabletop. Although it depends on what you're going for. You're going to get a little bit more atmosphere in the sound if you Tonight Show style if you set it on the table on the desk. They also make extensions for these, Jay. Did you know that? Where you can add a couple of sections here.
I did not know that. I will say this, ELGATO. Yeah, if you're a streamer or a podcaster or just a content creator, period, go to elgato.com, man. Those guys have got it figured out. But be forewarned, everybody out there is doing the same thing, so there's a lot of out-of-stock items, but they're catching back up, I think.
Go to our website at partscounterguru.com, or if you're watching the video, look in the comments section. We'll put links to this stuff in both our mentioned on the podcast page and in the comments on the YouTube side. But these are... I'm going to flip this around so you're not going to hear me as well, but I'm pleasantly surprised by these. So, first of all, you've got... it's a USB connection. It's USB-C on the back, and you've also got a headphone input, right? So right back there. And we've talked about this before. My MacBook Pro has a headphone jack on the right side, but doing it this way allows me a little bit more freedom with my headphone cord, right? So that I can move around. And then you've also got this volume. It doubles as a mute and a volume control button. So look here. So you got that, and then if I mute it.
Yep. So, folks, he is screaming at the screen right now, and now he's turned it off. And actually, Keith's a really good guy. But seriously, this is really it's. So you guys are getting this is a live demo of this microphone. So if you like the way this thing sounds, or you have any questions for Keith and I about the setup of this thing, we're going to go through some of that here in just a second. But I could tell you, we just wanted to do it live because we both felt like it was the best way to review this product in a live demo. And here we are doing a live podcast for you guys on the Counter Show right now using these Wave 1 ELGATO microphones.
So they come with, we use a lot of ELGATO stuff. I've got some of their lighting and so on. But it comes with software, okay? And you've got gain control, you've got mix control. So if you're gonna, mix in sound effects and that sort of stuff, and something that I think is kind of interesting, Jay pointed this out. They have a clipping control. So if you get too close to the mic, a lot of times you'll hear people distort. It'll get really, really funky, and when you get up in the mic. Well, the clip control will help prevent that to an extent.
Yeah, absolutely. And I tell you what, if you have guests on your podcast, Keith, and they're not as familiar with how how the clipping is a problem, can be a problem because they don't have the control yet of their own voice. If you have a guest on, these are ideal for guests because you have that anti-clipping mechanism in there. I tried to clip it. It doesn't sound distorted whatsoever in my testing before we came on. So I was pretty excited about that. I think it's great for a guest feature.
Yeah, and check it out, everybody. I mean, look, if we were willing to trust them enough to record a podcast on them, that ought to say something. So
yeah, and let me say this, guys. Like he said, it comes. There's software that you have to go to the ELGATO.com, and there's a download section. Supported by Mac products, Apple products, as well as Windows-based operating systems. You will download what they call Wave Link to your device or your machine, I should say. And let me just say this: I know enough to get around and can get myself in trouble to where I have to pick up the phone and use a lifeline sometimes. It's very intuitive. I can tell you that it was extremely easy for me to set up on my own. I never once had any issue whatsoever. So run out and go buy one. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah,
these
it's a
things are
USB
great.
mic.
Easy to
so
use.
That's another thing to consider, right? Like a lot of the traditional mics are either an XLR, quarter-inch plug. Usually they're XLR, but this is a USB-based mic. So it is a PC or Mac-based mic. But there you go. So just let us know in the comments. But just wanted to give you guys an example, so to speak, of how they sounded.
Yeah, what was the cost? What's the average cost on these?
I don't remember.
Can it range? You don't remember?
Well, there is a price difference between the Wave 1 and the Wave 3. Let me see what I can find out.
Yeah, why don't you bring that up real quick? And while you're looking at that, I can tell you that from comparable, there are some really good mics out there that you can get for 120, 130 to say 200. And then you start getting into those really pro mics, like say by Rode, and there's just a number of other professional podcasting microphones that are out there. But there's a lot of really, really price conscious pieces of equipment out there, and I believe that these are going to be one of those.
Yeah, so Elgato's got them $129.99 for the Wave 1, which is again,
folks, what are you waiting on? What are you waiting on? Go buy one. And hey, we bought these ourselves. This is just, hey, Elgato, though, if you want to lend us some gear to test for you, we'd be glad to do that. We'll just lend
You can
it
get
to
them
us
on
and we'll
Amazon. We'll put a
you.
link. If you're going to buy anything off Amazon, use our website. It'll help us out.
Man, I'm so glad you picked these things up, man. I'm excited about using these things, especially when we're out on the road. We're doing our live stuff on our road shows. I'll probably start using these more out in the field, too. I got some things coming down the pike. I'm going to experiment with a few things here or there. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Hope you guys like beer. That's all I got to say.